Alright guys, so today we're going to be checking out the Syma S37 Raptor, which is a helicopter, a 2.4 gigahertz controlled one. And this is the box that it comes in. It's pretty nice. We can see what the copter looks like. So here's some of the features: hover function, indoor flight, double protection, flashlight, LiPo battery, and we got a high and low speed. Alright, so this is what the back of the box looks like. Alright, and here we have some technical data. So that's the length, the width, and the height. The battery, 3.7 volts of 1100 milliamps. The main rotor dimensions and the tail rotor dimensions. And the motor is a 131. So let's get it open. Alright, and this is what we see. So we got a manual, and this is how the S37 comes packed. So there's a clear cover on top. Pops right off. So it looks like we have some ties that we need to release from the backside. So this packaging definitely reminds me of more of a retail kind of construction because of the way it's put together. And the reason they do this is so it's not so easy to open it up in the store and, you know, pull it out. So there's 3 places that you got to cut it loose. One over here also. And now it should come out. And there we go. Wow, this is a really good size. It's not small, but it's not huge either. Alright, so we also have the remote, and it's pretty decently nice, but you can definitely tell that it's, you know, a consumer grade remote. So it looks like we have a few buttons, and these are buttons too. So, and we also get a little baggie of our accessories. So that's everything for the packaging. So let's check out what we get in here. So we got a little Phillips screwdriver. We're going to need that. Take off the cover from the back of the remote. Our battery, which is 3.7, 1100 milliamp hours. And the charger, a USB type that connects to the battery to charge it. And we do get a little propeller here, an extra one. And that's for the back here. Alright, so I plugged the battery to the charger. So let's go ahead and use this USB port here by the computer. And we can see that there's a little red light that glows right there. And it's charging the battery. So as our battery is charging, let's take a closer look at this helicopter. Looks like weights here on the top and pretty large propellers. Then we have another set of propellers below that. So this looks like the system that spins both ways, which gives it a lot of stability. So I've had other Syma helicopters that were the small ones, and those are really fun to fly, but I never had this larger one. And it looks like just a larger scale of those smaller kind of just the way they're set up. And you can see here there's 2 gears, and if you spin the one on the top, this blade spins. If you spin the other one, that's the one on the top. So, and it does appear like we have a little light in the front of it. So we got a combination of different materials. For all the silver pieces you see, these are all aluminum pieces. And then we have plastic in between and the shell here. So looks like a pretty good build. And here at the fin, we have our other propeller. So on the right side of the copter, we have wires coming out. That's for the battery. There's a plug here that says power, and then on and off switch next to that. So let's go ahead and look at our manual to see what we're looking at. So here it shows us how to use the controller. So we got up, down, and then these smaller buttons here are our trimmers for the left and right, and our speed switch is that larger one, and then this is going to control the directions. So we are going to need 4 AA batteries. Kind of goes over the flight controls here and how to operate it. And here we have battery charging. Actually, I'm realizing, guys, that I think, okay, yeah, so here's our breakdown of all the parts, and I see that there's actually a battery already in here, and that's what this wire is. So the one we're charging right now is actually the extra battery. Go ahead and try to take this cover off the front. So it looks like it just pops off here on 2 sides. Okay, so this should just slide off. Alright, there it is. So there is already a battery installed underneath this cover. And so the second battery they give you, you can use as an extra. And there in the front we can see that little LED light. Alright, so what we really need to do is probably charge this battery. So I'm going to unplug this one for now and plug the one that's inside the copter. So, and the great thing about this page is that if you wanted to replace some parts from this model, they have all the parts labeled here and their part numbers. So let's say if you had some kind of damage, you could repair it by just getting the parts you need. And it does have a dual motor right here for each propeller. So let's go ahead and open this cover. So it should just slide out. There we go. And here we can see it takes 4 AA batteries. Alright, so I got 4 batteries. Put them in. Put our lid back on, and we'll put the little bolt back in to secure it, and that's it. Alright, let's hit the power button. So the button itself actually glows. Alright, so the batteries are full. This is our second battery. You guys can see the charger glows blue when it's full. So we are good to go. Now, the thing is this battery is removable, so if we look at this piece here, it actually bends down, and then the battery slides out. See if I can do it with one hand. just like that. You can pull the battery out and put the other one in and continue playing. Alright, so now we can just pop our cover back on, and the good part is it does come off and clips on quite easy. So we're just going to slide it over, and then there's these little holes that will go over these tabs, just like that. And we'll clip them in and clip the other side in, and that is it. Now it's back together. So when you charge it, you can just charge it right here, and when you're ready to use it, you plug it into this port right here. So let's go ahead and do that. Just make sure your wires are not over here on these gears, because it'll eat them up. Alright, so we should be ready to go. So let's go ahead and hit the switch to on. Alright, so as I turn it on, we can see there's a light in the front here that blinks, and that's the only indication of any lights that I see. So let's go ahead and power our remote on, and to pair it, we're going to use this joystick on the left side. I'm just going to go up and down, and it turns solid on the remote and on the helicopter. So it is paired and ready to go. Alright, so let's go ahead and try to wind it up here right on the table, see what happens. So I'm going to throttle it just a bit, going up. Oh, there it goes, look at that. I'm going to go a little more. Okay, so it just stops. Alright, so we definitely need more room. And so the way it works is that when you first start it, so because there's a weight on top, it spins it up, and after it spins up, then you can take off. And so when you do it once, it spins up, and then when you do it the second time, it actually goes up. So the controls are pretty simple. This one just goes up and down on the left side. And on the right side, if you go to side, it spins it. And back and forth. Uses the tail propeller to push it forward or backwards, so depending on which direction you're pointing at. So you can see it goes around in a circle, and then if you push it up, it goes forward, and back, it goes backwards. So yeah guys, you can see that it's not too hard to operate. You can get used to it quite quick. So if we push the speed button, that makes it even faster. Alright guys, and so this is the Syma S37 helicopter. It's a pretty fun little copter, but there's a couple things that you need to keep in mind, which one is the size. It is quite large. So this is more of an indoor flyer. So if you don't have much room, it might be a little hard to fly. Now we did try to take it outside, but it is kind of windy and it didn't really work out well. There was not enough force on the tail here to make it be compliant. So larger propellers and just a larger size, and it's still very lightweight. So yeah, this is definitely more of an indoor kind of helicopter. But yeah, as you saw there, it's very fun to play, and you do kind of have to get used to the controls if you're used to quadcopters. The way you control this thing could be a little bit a learning curve. But if you ever wanted to try a helicopter and you never have, this is a great little model here. And we've crashed it quite a few times, and the way these blades are made is they kind of pivot here, so if you crash into stuff, they just kind of bend out of the way instead of breaking completely. So it is somewhat crash proof. And the control is quite well, but I did notice that if there was, like some air blowing, it will, tilt it back and forth. And these trims do help stabilize it, and it stabilizes pretty well. So yeah, overall a really fun copter. So if you wanted to get one of these for yourself, I'm going to have some links in the description. Check that out. This would also make a great present for, I guess, just about anybody that would enjoy something like this. And if you enjoyed this video, then check out our other videos we have on this channel. And if you want to see more stuff like this, then stay tuned. And as always, thanks for watching, and we'll see you on the next one. Peace.